something. I'm not afraid to hurt y'all's feelings. But the fact of the matter is this: if we don't have 100% effort, look at me, in everything we do, it's going to be hard for us to be successful. Because we're not as talented as some of the people we play. Some people, yeah, we are. Everybody, we're not. And that's a fact. But you can beat a lot of people with your effort and your toughness and your will to win. Now, y'all look at this floor. It's sweaty, it's dirty, it's nasty. It's a term called sweat equity. It means you put something into today by how your body feels, how you look right now, how tired you are. You put something into today. But like we say, guys, are you going to be a sometime guy or an all-the-time guy? Because listen, what it's going to take is all the time guys. It's not going to take that guy, that little voice in your head saying, oh, just a few more minutes of sleep. Oh, just snooze that alarm. You'll get up at the next one. You got to take that guy and you got to get rid of him. Because that's what it's going to take for all of us to be successful. Keep working, keep busting your tail. But look at me. Don't take a day off tomorrow. Does everybody understand?
All right, we are on campus here at Ashville High School, and I'm going to let these two gentlemen introduce themselves.
Shay Monroe, head football coach.
I'm James Thompson, defensive coordinator.
Coach Monroe, I want to start with you. You know, you're pretty regular on the show. A lot of our fans all over the state that watch us know who you are and what you were trying to build here at Asheville. And I can just say from previous experiences, the locker room looks much greater. The effort here, the attitudes, a lot of things has changed here. But before we get into a lot of that, this is specifically about this upcoming season. This is kind of like a media days we come out on the campus. With that being said, since the last time we talked to you, bring us up to speed on the program where it's at right now.
Yeah, just we had a good off season. We have a lot of kids playing multiple sports, so the ones that didn't have a sport to play had a really good off season. You know, I feel like we got a lot better in the weight room. You know, went out and did spring practice this year, just kind of work on fundamentals and evaluate some of our new players that came out this year. I thought we had a good productive spring. Worked on a lot of fundamentals, a lot of base scheme install. But you know, I thought overall it's been a good year.
Now, this gentleman sitting to your right, our left, walked in today. The energy was automatically there. I've seen this gentleman on the field and the sidelines. Coach Thompson, what's this guy mean to your program?
He's been huge. He's been huge for me. You know, bringing in a veteran guy with a lot of experience, and you know, he's been at bigger classification ball most of his career, and you know, when I was fortunate enough to get him hired here, you know, he's been great as far as teaching our kids, you know, how to be good football players. But the biggest thing is he's taken a lot of the thinking out of it. You know, I feel like I hit a home run with this hire. I told everybody before the season, man, I feel like I made the 4A hire of the year, and that's how I feel still.
And Coach, since you've been here, a lot's changed and for the better. I know you guys have gained a toughness about you, the way you play football now. Talk about that and your background and how you got to coaching that style and all the things that Shay just mentioned.
Well, I started coaching. I was very fortunate to start way back when at McAdory High School with David Powell. And I kind of cut my teeth on the defensive side. We were fortunate enough to get Wayne Lee and Jay Brown, both came from Jacksonville State University. So that's kind of where I cut my teeth on my coaching style, learning to, you know, handle the kids. And, you know, you got to be tough on them, but you got to love them as well. And the biggest thing is you can love them all day long, but unless they know that you care about them, they're not going to respond. You know, the toughness, I just think that the more simple we can keep what we do, our schemes, we may have, you know, the most simple schemes, and it was this way at McAdory. You know, you just take the thinking out of the game and let them play. And, you know, we don't tolerate excuses. We don't, you know, I can't isn't a word that we tolerate. You know, we have high expectations for our kids and our players, and, you know, we make sure that they reach those expectations, or strive to meet those expectations. You know, coaching in McAdory, you know, very fortunate to have a lot of great players and been around a lot of great coaches. You know, almost everybody that came and left went to be a head coach, and all. You know, just being around that many coaches, and then I got the opportunity to go coach my son in high school. So I left McAdory and went to Pelham, and you know, at Pelham it was very similar to Ashville. Was there with Tom Causey, very fortunate to work with him, and we kind of inherited a program that was in need of a culture change. So we battled through that, went through that, and that's why, you know, taking this job wasn't, you know, as daunting a task to me, is because I'd already kind of done it and been through it. And you know, my last 2 years at Pelham, we managed to make the playoffs, and you know, and then I, you know, had a conversation with Coach Monroe, and you know, had the opportunity to come here, and you know, this is kind of, you know, I couldn't be happier where I'm at. You know, I'm not looking to go anywhere else. You know, I just.
You guys are pretty good fit with each other.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too. You know, he keeps me balanced. You know, he kind of, you know, they say I'm an old crusty guy. You know, which I guess I am. You know, I've been doing it a long time. You know, I'm on the backside of my career, and everybody that we work with here, you know, they're kind of on their upswing. You know, and part of what brought me here was the opportunity, I guess, to coach coaches. I've never really had the desire to be a head coach and to sit in his chair. I never wanted that. I've always been happy. You know, I've been a defense coordinator now for almost 20 years, and that's just kind of where I fit. You know, I'm happy doing that. You know, so that's you know, the mental toughness aspect of it is where I think we've kind of turned the corner. Our kids, even, you know, the couple games last year we got down, our kids never quit playing, never quit trying, never quit giving effort. So it never turned into a 50-point blowout. So, you know, I feel like we made great strides there, and it's getting better every day.
I agree.
Because those expectations are, you know, they're never going to reach them because we keep raising them. And, you know, I think that's the key to what we have is, you know, they're going to keep trying to reach them, but we're not going to let them ever rest on what they did last year. Yeah.
Coach Monroe, he said something I was wanting to talk about next. Last year, you guys hit a winning streak, and something clicked. And when you guys started that winning streak last year, and I know you changed your offense around and you earned a new nickname. Average Joe's gave it to you. Kudos to us. Just kidding. Coach, but for real, all jokes aside, I think that physicality that, you know, like you brought with the single wing and then his style of defense, like you said, the guys don't quit. When you mix those two together, something positive comes out. Can you talk about what happened and what clicked from that point last year when y'all hit that winning streak?
Yeah, I think it was just, you know, like, you know, we kind of took the approach offensively that we had taken defensively all year. Let's just simplify things. Let's put the ball in our best players' hands, and let's lean on people. And let's just be really, really physical. You know, you look at programs, and you know, I know they get mentioned a lot, but they deserve this mention. You look at Ohatchee, you look at Fife. You know, from a makeup standpoint, we're not too different from those schools. Okay, and they've had success being really physical, being very fundamentally sound. You know, and doing just what I said, being really physical and just leaning on people. Okay, you know, and I know this. You know, even though I'm a young guy, you know, my beliefs are very old school. I still believe you have to have toughness. You know, this game is not a contact sport; it's a game of collisions. Okay, violent collisions, which is why we give our kids very good equipment. Okay, we teach them the proper technique and tackling. We teach them, you know, all those proper fundamentals that they need to be safe. Because we know that in order for us to have a chance to win, we have to be perfect. You know, we don't just roll out unbelievable guys and say our dudes are better than your dudes. You know, do we have some good high school players? We do have some good high school players. Are we going to wow you every year with 10 college signings? No. And that's not taking a shot at anybody. That's just the fact. You know, the fact is, you know, Asheville's a blue-collar place with blue-collar people. So I think our football team needs to reflect that.
Absolutely. And Coach, as a defensive coordinator, when you guys went to that single wing, one of the main purposes for that offensively is to limit their touches. Do you feel that that's definitely kind of helped your defense along at the end of the year?
It definitely did. You know, it's a lot easier to run around and make plays when you're ahead in the ball game. And when, you know, early on and you know, things happen, you know, there's always going to be a turnover. But, you know, we went from, you know, having 60 defensive snaps a game to having 40. You know, so we're off the field more, we're rested, you know, and they gave, you know, offense feeds off the defense, I believe, and defense feeds off the offense. So when we're having success offensively, you know, our guys want to go out there and get the ball back and give it back to them. And so, you know, I think we started forcing a little more turnovers. We got, you know, got the offense the ball more. And I think, you know, just the physicality, you know, we came into the season and didn't really know, you know, we didn't have the spring training last year because of the pandemic. I didn't get hired last year until, I guess, officially July. Yeah. You know, so we didn't get all the 7-on-7. So we installed a brand new offense, brand new defense, starting in the fall. That's not an excuse. I mean, that's the way that it is. A lot of places were like that, I know. But we didn't have anything to fall back on. Our kids didn't know. So going into those first 3 or 4 games, you know, we were still trying to put the pieces together. And then about week, you know, I guess when we played Etowah, you know, it kind of just defensively, I thought that was one of the better games we played. You know, they got dudes running all around the place, and, you know, we pretty much held those guys in check and, you know, limited their success. You know, and our guys, I think defensively, that made our guys believe that they bought in 100% to what we were doing. And after that point, you know, we started really playing well. And, you know, the offense started clicking. You know, we give them more opportunities. They get us off the field. And I think it just kind of went hand in hand. You know, they made us better. We made them better. You know, a lot of it goes back to our you know, being a 4A school, our kids that don't go both ways, which we're fortunate we don't have many that do, but our kids that don't go both ways, that's who we practice against. We practice against our starting offensive line. You know, granted they're running the other team's plays, but it's still our starting offensive line. So they're getting more reps. We're getting good quality reps against our starting offensive line. So, you know, as the season went on, I just think that everything just kind of came together, and, you know, we fed off of each other. And, you know, it was good for us.
Let me ask you this, Coach. What is coming into this upcoming season? What are some of the guys in positions that you know you have to fill? Some of the things that you're really looking at, not only in the spring but over in the summer and obviously in the fall.
Well, we lost. You know, very fortunate that we really only lost 3 starters off of our defense from last year. Now, those 3 starters were very key players. We lost our Mike linebacker, and Clay did a great job for us last year. He understood his football IQ is one of the best I've ever been around. He just understood the game and understood what people were trying to do to us, and he made a lot of plays and got us lined up. So that's the biggest hole we're trying to fill, is trying to find that Mike linebacker that can get downhill, make plays, get us lined up, get a strength call, and all that. And then in the secondary, you know, we lost 2 corners. We lost 2 starting corners last year off of last year's team. So now we got a guy that played a lot of corner last year. One of the starters is back. You know, we got 2 good corners right now, but we don't have any depth. So we're trying to find that depth at corner in the secondary. Somebody can help us in the secondary. The strength of it, you know, coming back, we got right now 8 D linemen that can go out there at any given time and play. And, you know, for what we do, how our defense is set up, it all starts with those guys. Those 4 guys eat up blocks. Those 4 guys make plays. And, you know, with us having 8 of those, that's going to help us tremendously.
Coach, same kind of question to you offensively. I know you guys lost Luke. It's a huge blow, but I mean, you also have a lot more guys behind him that can tote the mail, so to speak. and your linemen, you do have a pretty solid line here as well. Talk about some of the losses you had and who you look to replace those in what positions.
Yeah, we lost off of our offense. We lost our 2 leading rushers, a 3-year starter at center, our leading receiver, and a starting tight end. So we got a few holes to fill offensively. You know, carrying the ball this year, you know, it's going to be more by committee. You know, you got Dylan Harris, obviously back for his 4th year as a starting quarterback. Jalen Williams, who we're really excited about. You know, then you sprinkle in Travis Smith and Cole Hyatt and those guys. You know, got Eli Reeves and Austin Kennedy mixing in at the wingback position. Offensive line is definitely going to be our strength. You know, you got Mason Wilson who's back. And, you know, we got to break in a new center, and we're looking at a couple of guys for that position right now. But you got Layden Olson and Dawson Welch back at the guards. Jeremiah Monroe's back at inside tackle. And then really Skylar Cross had a great spring. So we're looking for Skylar to come in and contribute significantly. You know, we do have our starters back at split end. We got Hunter Brown and you know, Ethan Richardson and Chandler McGinnis are all going to get reps there, you know, along with some other guys. You know, but I feel like for what we do offensively, I think, you know, I think the kids we have are going to fit in well, and they really fit in well this spring. And it was really just, this spring was just about hammering home those fundamentals, you know, making sure the backs are taking the right track, make sure we know who to block on the plays. You know, we worked some throw game, contrary to what people think. We want to throw the ball enough to keep people honest. But, you know, I'm looking for big things out of those guys this year. But, look, replacing Luke Harris and Adrian Hernandez and Hayden Phillips and Anthony Zito and J.J. McGinnis, those are 5 really, really good players, but really good kids. You know, and I'll say this, you know, I'll be forever indebted to that senior class because really and truly, you know, there was only 6 of them. But, man, those 6, they were great. They were great kids.
Yeah.
They were great kids, man. And you know, if we do end up, our goal is to play more than 10 games this year. Okay, we're not shying away from that goal. You know, if we do make it to that goal, it'll be because of those guys.
No doubt. Now, Coach, I want to ask you this question. Since you've taken over here, the upgrade of the facilities, the orange jerseys, which everyone knows about now, there's a lot of different changes and a lot of moving parts that's been going on here. Do you feel that the program is up to speed where you wanted it to be, or do you think it's a little ahead of the curve? Or what, just to kind of assess yourself in the program since you've taken over your division. I think we're
right where we need to be. There's things I'd like to get done faster. I'm a do guy. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to go do it. And you know, sometimes I got to slow myself down and be a little bit more patient. But I think we're right where we need to be as far as, you know, you look at David Todd Wilson Memorial Fieldhouse, and you're going to see significant changes. You know, is every room great? No, but you know, we're getting there. And you know, the biggest thing is, I want our kids to be first class. The biggest thing is they, you know, for a long time I think they just didn't feel like they were good enough. You know, and it's just showing these kids, hey, you're good enough. You deserve these things. You know, if you work hard, you know, you're going to get the things you deserve. And that's how it is in life, and that's how it is in anything you do. You know, you work hard and you earn things. And that's what we've tried to do. We've tried to show them, hey, you've earned this. This isn't something we're just doing to do it. You've earned it. So, you know, I'm really proud of where we are right now. I'm not satisfied with it, but I'm proud of it.
Coach, for you, what is your biggest goal heading into fall practice? What is the number one thing that you think you have to get done as a defensive unit heading into next fall?
We just can't. We got to get to the point where we don't make mistakes. To me, as a defense coordinator, the most important thing that you can do is get lined up, and we have to 100% of the time beat no misalignments. 100% of the time get lined up. We have to focus in on that. Focus in on our assignments and our jobs. Just be clean. We don't do a lot. In my career, I never really have done a lot. You know, I think I've averaged, after the end of season breakdowns and everything, I think we've averaged playing base about 97% of the time. We just play our base defense, and you know, we have to get good us. We have to find our identity because every team's different. This team's going to be different than last year's team. This team's going to be different than next year's team. We have to find our identity and find out who we are. And so going into fall camp, we got to figure out who we are, what kind of defense we're going to be, and just how we got to develop that. I guess we just got to develop that nastiness that you need to be on that side of the ball.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be our focus. Luckily we're in year 2 of what we're doing. The kids, surprisingly well. We walked out on the first day and we were able to call stuff from last year that without even flipping it or talking about it. And, the kids that have been around were able to do those things. So I feel like, on that end of it, we're a little bit ahead of the curve because we're not walking in, totally blind. Our kids have an idea of what we want to do and how we want to do things. So we just got to develop that identity, that toughness, that physical 11 hats to the football kind of mentality.
Absolutely. Coach, same question offensively, and then follow that one up with the overall team view for the season.
I mean, offensively, it's just more the same. We got to get good at what we're doing. We can't worry about what the defense ain't going to dictate what we do. That's the goal. Okay, we're going to do what we do, and we're going to try and out-execute you. Offensive football is assignment and execution football. We got to do those little things everybody always talks about. We got to hold on to the football. We can't get behind the chains. We got to stay ahead of the chains. We got to stay on our game plan. As far as overall view of our program, we can't rest on our laurels. If we're fine with 5-5, then we better check ourselves real quick. Because I can promise you this, we got 9 coaches that are not fine with 5-5. And the biggest thing for us as coaches is being consistent. That's one thing I can say about Coach Thompson and the rest of our staff for that matter. I mean, look, the rest of our staff does a great job. We got a good mix of personalities. And the biggest thing I can say about all of them is they're consistent. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I'm going to be a player's coach. I'm not going to wear a headset on Fridays, because I trust my coaches to do the job that I've asked them to do. And if I got any input, I'll just walk over and tell them, hey, do this. But I trust our coaches. I'm developing. There's a lot of our kids I do trust, and there's some I'm developing trust with them. So I hope we're not satisfied with last year because, like Coach said, this is a completely different team. I would like for we have to do a better job. I have to do a better job of developing leaders, and that's one thing that I'm working on currently is developing those leaders because the one thing I'll say about last year's senior class, out of the 6 of them, you had 2 or 3 that would get in your face. You had 2 or 3 that were going to hold you accountable. And, that's something we really need to see out of this group. They might do it, they just might go about it a different way. But that's what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. Guys, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day. I just got through seeing a very intense workout. Got my blood flowing a little bit. I know you guys are probably ready to go chill out and decompress a little bit, but thank you guys so much and good luck moving forward.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, we are here in Asheville's beautiful, newly renovated locker room, and I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves.
I'm Cole Hyde. I'm Ashton Mostello. I'm Layden Olson. I'm Hunter Brown.
Jeremiah Moore.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys a question. All you guys seniors coming up this year?
I'm the only senior.
You're the only senior. The rest of you guys are underclassmen. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you a question, but all you guys did play last year.
Yes, sir.
First thing I want to ask you is, when Coach Monroe took over and the vision he gave for you guys and how that's played out, what was your mindset going into last season? I know it was a different change than what you've been used to, and I know you had to be happy the way the season ended with winning streak. But talk about from the day you met Coach Monroe and what that meeting was like to the end of last season. What was that like for you?
It was just confidence. It made me feel like I had way more confidence, knowing that he had our back no matter what, and we was gonna go to war with him, and he wasn't gonna back down. I loved it.
100%.
Made me feel good.
Yeah, like he said, he's a good coach. He's behind your back 100%. He's going to pick you up when you're down. He's going to give you tell a lot. It's out of love.
Absolutely.
He makes football more fun. He doesn't make it seem like a job like a bunch of other coaches try to do.
and just a lot more fun last year than it had been.
No doubt.
Like they said, he's just always going to be there for you, pick you up when you're down, and if you need him, he'll be there for you, no matter what.
Yeah, make sure you never give up and just stay focused.
All right, now let me ask you guys this question. Let's talk about the orange jerseys for a minute. They seem to be a hit all over the area. When we showed those on Average Joe's and what they meant and the winning streak you guys went, you're undefeated in those, correct?
Yes, sir.
When he broke those things out, what were you guys thinking?
So actually, I was walking to the film room because we was about to watch film for the Oak Grove game, and he snatched me in the equipment room, and he said he wanted me to unveil the jerseys. So we came in there, and the whole team just lit up with excitement. It was a good feeling.
I was really surprised because he called us up here to the field house and we went in the film room, and then like when Cole walked in the film room, we was like, oh,
It's on.
yeah.
We were all caught off guard with the orange. If anything, we were expecting some kind of different green, and then Cole came out full orange. It was just a different feeling then.
Yeah.
It's just shocking. They look amazing. We was all amazed. It was great.
Yeah, we were excited, but I feel like it gave us more confidence too.
No doubt. Now, you guys, last year, I remember you opened up the season with a win in a very tight ball game. I remember noticing Shay's interview with Kevin Moore after the game where he actually teared up. And that's the first time I kind of noticed. I knew who Coach Monroe was, but I was like, man, this dude's passionate. You know, he cares about his kids, and you can see it here in his voice after that game. He was interviewed with Kevin Moore. But then you guys had a little bit of a losing streak there, but then you went on a 5-game winning streak, correct? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
No, 4-game winning streak at the end of the season. You finished 5-5. What clicked? What was different? What happened? I know after that one, you guys had 4 punts blocked and still stayed in the game against several D1 guys. But something changed after that game when you guys went on a winning streak. What was that?
It was just, he basically said, we got to put our nose to the grindstone, finish strong. I mean, that was basically it.
Yeah, like we had lack of focus them weeks, and then we came back, we got ready and focused up.
No doubt.
I think it was the Etowah game where we realized we made a bunch of mistakes, but we were still able to stick in with one of the better teams on our schedule. So after that, we realized how good we could be, and we just stuck to it.
And they were semifinals last year.
Just change of heart. We got back in it and worked hard and pushed ourselves, come back around.
Yeah, change of mindset and work they got better, way better.
Now, you guys are obviously looked to as leaders, or he wouldn't have you on this video. So this is like a preseason media days video set up, getting everybody in a group. Average Joe's is coming out on campuses, so each team can have their individual one. That being said, he obviously looks to you guys to be leaders of the team and exemplary athletes. But I say that to say this: as leaders of this team, what are some of your main goals and focus to get this team prepared to be as good as they possibly can when fall camp ends?
It starts with leadership, discipline, the whole 9 yards, really. It goes from you getting there on time to you going 100%, not missing a rep. I mean, that's all it comes down to.
No doubt.
Like you said, getting on time, mentally focused, because we got to just stay focused out there on the field.
100%.
I would just say making sure effort's there every day. Effort stays the same, stays top, and we don't let it drop below 100%.
Mentally and physically, you have to be here, and you have to hold everybody else accountable to what you're held accountable for. You can't let anybody else slack off, because then everybody's going to slack off. You have to hold them to a higher standard than anybody.
Yeah, like you said, mentally and physically, you gotta have a passion to do it too.
No doubt. Now, I just got to see a very intense workout with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
For those who hadn't never seen what you guys do and how you do it in the weight room, talk about how hard you guys are to go at it in the weight room.
It's basically balls to the wall into the last set. Like, the intensity up there is unreal. Like, everybody's just going 100%.
You guys pouring sweat.
I'm telling you.
No stopping, full intensity. it's pretty rough.
Ain't no doubt.
There's no time for rest. It's you go from one workout to the next and the next and the next. Most rest you get is spotting.
Mm.
It's high intensity the whole time. Just got to push through and get it done.
Give 100%, you'll be a good.
All right, now I know you guys' team goes to play more than 10 games, but I'm gonna put you guys on camera. You can't deny this now. So your teammates gonna see this, your family's gonna see this. Individually, what are you gonna do to make that happen?
I personally want to lead the team in tackles. I really would like to lead the county in tackles, even the region. Do anything I can to help us make more than 10 guys.
I like to lead tackles. that's all I do.
We go.
Just do my best, do my job, and do it to the best of my ability.
There you go.
Fly around 110% all the time and just work my tail off.
Blocking my quarterback and my running back.
All right, guys. Good luck to you guys moving forward. And I know if you guys keep grinding, like I seen out there in the weight room earlier, I think some good things are on the horizon for you guys. And hey, cannot let the streak break with the orange jerseys.
They can't do it.
All right,
So,
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You guys got a lot to be proud of. The new facility upgrades here, and the new mindset around here. And I mean, everybody's pulling for you. Hammer down, folks.
I hammer
Down.